are live over on the YouTube to talk about Peacemaker episodes 4 and 5. We got to make up for last week because I was sick. And so that's why we're doing back-to-back to talk about more Peacemaker. So let's get on into it.
Welcome to the Dingus and
Happy Batman Day as well. For anybody that doesn't know, the third Saturday of every September is Batman Day, where Batman debuted in 1939. And so do the math there of how old he is. Not math, I particularly. Let me see here. It's 86 years, I think.
Yeah, so 49, 59, 69, 79, 89.
Is that right? Yeah. I know, right? We're struggling to do math. I'm going to talk about Batman.
Yeah, 86 years. That would be 86 years.
There we go. And so I've been doing a bunch of fun Batman Day themed stuff over on the Twitch. This is actually the first time that we're actually streaming the show also on Twitch at the same time,
Nice.
which is pretty interesting to see. And I realized I didn't change over on my Twitch info with that. I'm not playing Fortnite anymore, so I need to change that over. And so, but yes. This is being streamed over on Twitch right now because I've been doing a bunch of Batman themed day stuff today. I've been doing some Batman themed gaming. Began with playing some Arkham Origins, and then we did a fun Batman read along. We can check out the full stream of that we did earlier on YouTube. It's a special way to celebrate a Batman Day on the Dingus and YouTube, where that was a bunch of fun. Where we had some friends over, and we did a whole read along over a couple Batman comics, which was a lot of fun. And then. We were just doing for Fortnite. We're back here for Peacemaker, and then we're still going to be doing more stuff. I'm still going to be doing more stuff on Twitch afterwards for more Batman gaming stuff, as we still have a couple of the games planned to play over there as well, deep into the night. As I, like Batman, woke up very late today, so I'm going to be up late today. I woke up and I was like, "Shit, I got this read along thing to prep for."
You're like, oh, it's in 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. No problem if I woke up that late. But oh man. All right. Let me share this over to the YouTube really quick as well. Or not YouTube, oh my god, over to Twitch as well, as I've been busy doing all the Batman Day stream along stuff. But since you weren't here for episode 3, we're not going to go all the way through episode 3, but from what you remember of episode 3, what were your general thoughts on that since you weren't here for that?
Yes, let me think. That was the episode where Peacemaker first just goes all the way into the Earth, other world, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was remembering correctly. Yeah, I thought it was good. I remember hearing a lot of people that got to see the episodes early that were like, "Oh, this is a standout episode of the 5."
Yeah.
It's not that it's a bad episode. I didn't think that. I think they've all been consistent with each other. Where it's not a bad episode. It's a good episode, but and of course once I heard about the Earth X theory, because I was not familiar with that, and I kind of went back and looked at the episode, I was like, oh yeah, this could definitely be Earth X. But it was a good episode, especially and we see a little bit more in these episodes where Peacemaker is really contemplating, do I leave my world and go to this world?
Yeah,
really good episode all around. I enjoyed it. Like I said, these 5 episodes that we've had so far, I feel like they've all been a consistent quality with each other.
Yeah.
So when I say for me there hasn't been a standout episode, I don't say that as a bad thing. I say that as they've all, like I said,
been good. And I mean, they've each had great moments in each one, I think. And it's definitely kind of in a way, it's kind of a burn in a way with how it's been building towards, because I've seen some complaints of people being like, feeling like the season takes kind of too long to get going, but it's like, well, we're getting a bunch of character development in each episode, whether that's your cup of tea or not.
This is a lot more of a character-driven season than season 1 was.
Yeah,
which I actually like that.
I think it's
too.
Yeah,
I don't know. I was just gonna say real quick, with this being in the DCU, there may be people watching this season that didn't watch season 1. So he was maybe taking time. You get to know the characters in a sense, even if you didn't watch season 1.
Sure.
So
yeah, it's a great way to differentiate the seasons, though, which is great.
Oh, this was the one with Rick Flag Jr., right? That was episode 3.
It began with that big bombshell of a
yeah.
reveal.
So now, basically, most of the Suicide Squad is canon, and in a way, the 2016 one is loosely because of the was it Enchantress? He said
Enchantress, yeah. Well, what's interesting about that is how we referred to it, though, made it more that the Air version would have been canon and not the one we saw on screen, though. Is the interesting version of it, which we talked about a little bit too. Me and Chris did, where I was like, not that I think it's going to happen, but that reference alone, I think, is the only good indicator that we've had that we could ever possibly get the Air cut now.
Yeah.
Someday. I wouldn't be surprised, because obviously James Gunn is busy building up his own version of stuff.
Yeah.
But all I was saying is, I wouldn't be surprised if we get it once the DC is a bit farther, maybe after another Suicide Squad movie or something.
Yeah. Well, you could even do it like a Zack Snyder's Justice League. Just make it a Max or HBO Max original. Just
I don't think it would be a theater release. I think it would be I think it would be something like that as well. It's all about timing, right?
Right.
He has to let his DC win in full force before they can do something like that. You know, we're having a great first year, in my opinion, but things are just getting started, you know? And so it's a matter of having to build up and get to a proper point where people won't feel like that. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. Like there's any hope that their old universe could continue and just appreciate having another version of the movie. Like, for instance, an example would be everyone's wanting that other cut of Schumacher's Batman Forever, right?
Oh, yeah.
We know we never get more of that universe.
Yeah.
But have a cut of that movie, we could appreciate being like, oh, yeah, maybe there's this other cut that happened. It'd be cool to see it. And so the DCU needs to be distant enough so we can feel that way about your Suicide Squad and not all these. If you release it now, you're only going to create more division with the Snyder crap going on. And so
that's true. Yeah, because as far as the general audience goes, they've only seen Superman, really, because I don't know how many people actually watch Creature Commandos outside of like us diehard fans.
Right. It's definitely more of a niche show too, you know, because you're like, well, Creature Commandos, you know, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Even DC fans being like, who the hell's Creature Commandos?
Exactly. Well, even I was like, who the heck's Creature Commandos?
I think we all were, to be honest. Yeah. I don't know a single person who actually knew of the Creature. They were more obscure than Guardians. When Guardians came out, people were like, this is going to be the biggest financial flop for Marvel ever. Oh boy, were they wrong. Which is so funny. But let's talk about what we're here for, as we got 2 episodes to cover. First up, episode 4. What were your overall thoughts on this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'm trying to remember because
that's the one where they first go to his house, start surrounding it. He runs out. We get a bit of Michael Rooker's character, Red St. Wild, in action. We get a scene with Peacemaker,
Michael Rooker, the Eagle Hunter.
Yeah.
I love the banter in this episode and the next episode between Economos and Flurry. I think that's Flurry, bird blindness guy. We'll just call him that. Their banter's great, and especially when Economos is trying to stall, opening the dimension. Because we got a little bit more with Peacemaker and him really contemplating, like, because we get this a little bit more in episode 5, but he's really like, if I have nothing here, I'm just gonna leave and go to the other Earth because everything's great over there. He could have a relationship with Harcourt, potentially, has a higher chance for that Harcourt than he does with this one, in a way. But yeah, it was a good episode.
I see, my thing with the episode, episode 4, why for me, I know while I was genuinely agreeing about you about not one episode particularly being a standout, But if there's one that was kind of weakest in a way for me, it
Mm-hmm.
might have been this one might probably be this one because while there is a bunch of great moments to happen within the episode, and there was definitely stuff that progressed in the story in the episode, when you think about the overall story of how it began and ended, it's kind of the same, you know? Like, it literally began with, hey, let's capture Peacemaker, and it later ended with Peacemaker going into a trap for them to do the same thing.
That's true.
And that was kind of like my big thing of when I finished it, I was like, yeah, stuff happened, but also things kind of didn't change too much.
It almost was. I hate to say it, but you could almost say this was a bit of a filler episode.
And like I said, that's what I mean. Is like it kind of, you know, it kind of you didn't do. Like I said, it had its moments though where I would argue it didn't make it a filler. But when you look at the overall scope of it, it's like it did kind of begin where it ended.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
ended began. You know. Where you know, there's some episodes that does kind of absolutely nothing in that regard. You know, I know you will eventually get there in your Star Wars Clone Wars reviews that you're doing.
Yeah,
and with the annoying freaking Martinez, isn't that what their name is? The Martez.
Yeah, the Martinez sisters.
There's one episode where they literally begin in a prison cell and ends with them back in the prison cell. I was like, what the fuck? It's like they did literally nothing in that 20 minutes, so that they get.
I know we're not here for the Clone Wars, but I will say this: you take out those 4 episodes, that's one of the best seasons of TV I've seen as far as sci-fi goes. Really.
See, that's the crazy thing about last thing I'll say about Clone Wars is it literally goes from being a solid arc to the most shit Clone Wars arc, in my opinion, to my favorite ever Clone Wars arc. And it's crazy how, for me, it's such a mixed bag of a season because it hits all 3 of the notes of something. Yeah, it's good, not great. I mean, I might like the Bad Batch episodes more if I go back and rewatch them. I wouldn't be surprised because I do think a bunch of Clone Wars stuff ages better when you rewatch. But then you hit that absolute bottom to the absolute highest. It's like, what is happening in that season?
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, Peacemaker, that's why we're here, I swear. Let me see here. I was double checking everything's good on
I was doing that just real quick.
Oh, okay. I was like, I just saw your camera disappear. I was like, what happened? You're all good. So let's talk about. So I'm trying to think. So that was my overall thoughts on the episode itself.
I'm also trying to remember the episode because I hadn't had a chance to rewatch it. So my mind's a little bit fresh on episode 5, but I am trying to.
That's true. Yeah, this is a problem with us skipping a week if I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I do have the episode pulled up. We have a big scene in the van. Here's a cool thing about the scene in the van. I don't know if you know this. Is the scene in the van they shot using the volume.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah. So that was something really cool where they did that. We got the beginning scene where we found the portals from some weird alien. Where it apparently has a CGI dick if you look closely enough.
I was not looking closely enough.
Me neither. I was just hearing them talking about it.
That's funny.
But yeah, there's a whole van scene, and we get you know, some stuff with Michael Rooker's character there, where he's a Red St. Wild, and this is kind of funny.
He's great.
I was about to say, like, just generally talk about him across both 2 episodes. He was definitely great in that role. Yeah. One of the things that's interesting is I don't know if I remember saying this, but James Gunn was one actor across all mediums for a certain character, but the other role he wanted as well with the DCU was that he was wanting, if you're on screen, you wouldn't be recasted into another role. I don't know if you remember that. But that hasn't applied to voice acting because, you know, a bunch of people don't pay attention to the voices, you know, unlike us film nerds. So he is, you know, that's why, you know, Michael Rosenbaum and Michael Rooker and a bunch of other friends have like a bunch of different voice roles is because, you know, but he has that role for the DCU. Now, there's going to be an exception because as we know, episode 5 is going to be the last that we'll most likely see of Red St. Wild.
Yeah.
So... and he needed Rooker to replace the actor who originally was playing Red St. Wild, where they already shot a bit with Red St. Wild. the original actor, and then they were like, we need something wasn't working out, so you're just
wow.
I need somebody else. So let me call my friend Michael Rooker. And what he did was he was like, I need you for this role, and this won't limit you from playing another character if we find a great character for you to play then as well. So this is kind of an exception to that rule where he was like, I need Rooker for this character because he'd work out because he needs somebody quick. Mm-hmm. And so the character Red St. Wild was kind of just a big favor from Michael Rooker. That Michael Rooker did for James Gunn. And so, yeah. So,
I think it's episode 4 when he finds the eagle poop.
Yeah.
And he starts to eat it, and he's like, oh, a hint of this and a hint of that.
The eagle
Economos
shit,
is like, Economos is like, there's no way you're
it's so funny
all that from that.
And then you get the alternate version at the end where it's like extended, where he talks about isn't that one
like,
where it's like more and more stuff? Right?
Yeah,
and he's like there's no way you know all that. That's really funny. So yeah, that is
That's
funny.
the other thing I've started to do watching these episodes, because I know the post-credit scene is an extended scene. Sometimes when I'm watching the episode, I'll try to guess which scene will be extended at the end, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I think it's that one. I haven't been right yet, but I at least try to guess.
That's funny. So, yeah, Michael Rooker was great in this. Chris was talking in the Chris chat saying Economos knocked out Michael Rooker's character there.
Yeah,
which was fine. He was like, yeah, there's another eagle.
Yeah, and then we see that in episode 5. It like fits because then all the eagles start attacking him, and he's like, oh, so it is
there
true.
was another eagle. It's so funny. He ends up believing what was actually bullshit there because of what happened.
He's making it up. I love it when
the best part that I love about this is I surely you all were thinking the same thing of where you're watching this episode 4 and you're like, what the fuck is this prime eagle? What the heck are you talking about this prime eagle? You're like, you're just full of crap. And he's then tracking this prime eagle. He's like, yeah, okay, obviously he's tracking eagerly because he knows that's the target, right? Yeah. And then we go to episode 5, and it's like, oh, Eagly is the prime eagle.
Yeah, well, and I love when Economos is like, there's no way you got all that. That can't be the only possibility from you hitting your head. And it's like, wait, Economos, you're trying to... Don't make him think that you did it. Like, but
I find and then, so funny.
Well, at first I actually thought he did shoot Eagly. I was like, oh, they killed off Eagly.
That was a good trick moment because I did you think I was like, hold on, did they really just kill Eagly? Holy crap!
I was like, no. Well, actually, if it weren't for Guardians 3, I wouldn't think that was a possibility from James Gunn. But I was like, no, he's not going to kill off Eagly. And then we find out that there's like 10 other eagles in that area.
The army of eagles come, and he has that amazing moment when I have on the YouTube thumbnail there of the eagle and all that with the eagle symbol there, the same symbol too that Red St. Wild like etch and everything. It's like, oh, this prime eagle shit is actually real. Yeah, I thought that was just a great twist because like I said, I just thought the prime eagle stuff is like, this is there's no way this is true, you know? And I was like, what?
Well, and this is something that James even did with a little bit in the Guardians movies. He does a good job of taking these silly concepts and like making them work and even fit in dramatic parts. Because like I think you even said this a couple weeks ago, the whole bird blindness. If you had told me that before we saw the show, that there was bird blindness, I would have been like, how's that going to work? But the way he did it and the way Tim Meadows delivers it, it's so great. It's awesome.
Yeah, they know how to do their stuff, which is just fantastic for sure. It's been so much fun with everything there. And while we're talking about this specifically, I guess we'll kind of just delve into this arc in general across the 2 episodes. As I would argue, other than the end part of episode 5, the main focus there, the main standout for me was everything going on with Red St. Wild and that whole storyline. And so, we talked about in episode 4, we got all that great stuff with him getting knocked out, and he's talking about Prime Eagle, and you're like, this can't be true. And it is. Yeah. But then the other great thing, though, too, is we actually get to see him in action using a giant, comically large gun.
I know. I was like, dude, what the heck? Where do you get that kind of gun? I guess it's custom made.
And what's hilarious about that too is that's actually a real kind of gun.
Oh,
That's not a gun that they just made up. I don't remember the name of the gun, but that is a very much a real gun. That they didn't recreate it. It has an actual name. I don't remember what the actual name of it is. I see Chris said elephant gun, but I'm pretty sure it has another name, like what it's actually called. I mean, maybe they use that to hunt elephants was what it's actually from, but like it has an actual name, and I'm trying to think of what it is. But
oh
point is,
yeah,
though,
okay. I looked up elephant gun, and it kind of looks similar to what he had. Not quite, but interesting.
yeah,
The barrel isn't quite the same.
Peacemaker, Raid Saint.
We're gonna put it on a list for looking up all these guns.
Oh God. See, that doesn't say anything. Yeah, see, they talked about it on the Peacemaker podcast, which is the main reason why I know about it. Because James Gunn was like, yeah, they rented the gun so they could do it as the cheapest way to do it. Since there's a very much now the thing with the gun though is you normally don't shoot it in the way Red State Wild did. It's normally has like a stand that you set up. And
yeah, well, yeah, that was. I was like,
so.
how's he holding that up all the way? Because that was like a 12-foot gun. It looked like.
He's bigger. It's taller than him.
He was like holding it like this. I was like, buddy. Yeah.
Okay, Chris said punt gun. That might actually be right.
Okay.
That sounds closer to what I think. So punt gun.
Let me see.
So which was pretty funny.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that is the same gun. Yeah. All right. It's called a punt.
There we go. A punt gun.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go.
There's even a picture of like a guy putting it on a guy's shoulder. At least on mine.
Yeah, that's a giant freaking gun.
I wonder. I'm gonna look at the length. I'm very curious now.
Yeah, they're big, and I'd imagine quite pricey as well. Good luck sticking that in a gun safe to any gun collector.
Oh, I know. Okay, I was right. It ranges from 10 to 12 feet.
Holy shit!
That's insane.
Yeah, that is literally bigger than
you could not walk around with that discreetly. Like,
no,
that's for very specific uses.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh man, that's crazy.
I honestly thought it was just for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
That's funny. Yeah,
that'll make hunting a whole lot easier.
Sure about that.
Right, yeah.
But
run with it, you're like, get him. Yeah.
But nonetheless, though, his whole action scene in episode 5 in particular was pretty sweet, though. That was definitely a big standout moment. I think episode 5 really did serve as a great kind of like mid-season episode to help differentiate sort of this front half, back half. And it's just exciting too, where we're officially at the point where nobody knows what's going to be happening next.
That's what I love that, because
me too.
Sometimes stuff will get leaked if people see stuff early, or like they'll post their review right as the episode airs, and it's like, hold up, like we haven't even had time to watch the episode. So
yeah, no, that's what I really like about it is these were very story focused episodes where it's kind of hard to spoil anything specifically of any cameos or anything.
Yeah,
and episode 6 is the second of 3 episodes that James Gunn directed.
That's right. Yeah, I forget that he doesn't direct a lot of the episodes. He writes them all.
Yeah, he wrote them all. He was busy shooting a bunch of Superman.
Yeah.
And then he shot episodes 1, 6, and 8.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, so this next one's going to be a big one, which is exciting. But let me see here. I did pull up for me to reference episode 4 to make sure there's nothing else to necessarily talk about, especially since, like, it's been a bit for us.
Yeah.
Because obviously we get the whole sequence of Peacemaker running away.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something actually cool, a little moment where we actually got to see some of Judo Master in action, which is cool. And then him just being an annoying freak. I did enjoy actually getting to see him in action.
Yeah, I loved the his back and forth with Economos while they're in the van.
Oh
And
yeah,
Economos was like, "Yeah, I wish you were dead," and he was like, "You would bring me around with you if I was dead?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." It was funny.
Yeah. Getting some stuff at a bio as she has her whole ad thing set up, and then there's like, yeah, there's nobody that reads that.
Yeah, he's like,
which is funny too, because talk about it into this episode now, episode 5 now.
Because he's like 12 people subscribed to that, and she's like 1,000. And he goes, no. And she goes, 100. And he goes, I think you know where this is going.
That could be a really fun cameo of who that's actually set up to be. I haven't seen much people talk about it, but there's a big potentials of, I don't know who, but that's like perfect setup for some sort of big cameo of some villain that we know of that we haven't.
Yeah, I love when she gets the call and Vigilante is like, I don't know what the word Greek is for fighting, but in like prostitution it means, but it, keep it PG for the kids here.
So funny. Oh my gosh.
His line delivery was great.
That
and then he's like,
was the funniest part of episode 5
because he was like, oh, I thought he was like, that sounded like a prostitution call. She's like, no, it's for fighting or whatever. And he's like, I don't know. It sounded like, I don't know.
That was good. That was good. You did touch on this, but I didn't fully delve into it of how we got Economos distracting, as they got the door to reposition.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna plug this in here now. He's like, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, and Bordeaux's like, just figure it out, like just whatever,
fucking do it.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm gonna type in some code now.
Yeah,
it was great.
We then see Harcourt getting more fighting and stuff, getting beaten up, and then we get this big talk with her and Rick Flag Sr., where he's, being like, hey, I know you're essentially blacklisted essentially from being able to do your line of work. And, as we talked about earlier, she's very desperate for work.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, well, she could get work again if she helps turn in Peacemaker. And then that's what ultimately sets up the end where, we do get a big, great conversation between her and Rick Flag Sr., but we get that whole conversation near the end. Michael Rooker does his dance as well at the end.
Yes, yeah.
Which he just went at that dance. It's so funny how James Gunn and you can see it as well, as he is the most out of sync person there, and the intro dance credit.
Yeah.
And everyone jokes around that he was the worst dancer, and well, it is kind of obvious that he's the one in his parts that's a little out of sync of everyone else. I think it turns out
the intro grows on me each week. I never thought it was bad, but I don't know. It's just with each week, I'm like, oh, yeah. I almost look forward to it.
I was watching today, I watched maybe about half of the music video of the original music video of that song. You should check that out. I'll find it and send it to you. And so that's kind of interesting because somebody is like, we're all these weird dance moves that James Gunn likes now, and so it kind of made me curious to see kind of it is kind of a weird kind of thing, I guess. Your regular music video, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a big music person, so I don't watch a bunch of music videos and stuff. And we also grew up in an era where music videos for us aren't really as big of a thing as it used to be for people prior to our generation.
Very rare.
The music videos still happen. People just don't go watch them, or that's not what I'm going to say. People just it's not as big cultural thing anymore to hey, did you watch that music video?
Yeah, it's more of a, hey, did you listen to the song? Or and it's also too, if an artist puts out an album, they might have one music video for the album instead of having several. Yeah, well, that's true. I will catch them occasionally.
Right, same.
But yeah, they definitely aren't as popular as they used to be. I can remember even 10, 15 years ago, though, they were still somewhat popular, but now it's,
Yeah. yeah, it's interesting.
More than anything, the songs just become famous because they were in audio for a dance or something.
Right. Matthew here is saying they were on YouTube, not MTV, which is, yeah, that's the thing.
MTV,
Everything's on
yeah.
YouTube now. Your YouTube stuff is all about just to get views to stream the music is the thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's music is a whole other world that I'm not completely familiar with. I'm not a big music person. I have certain kinds of music I absolutely listen to, but I'm not.
Same, yeah.
I'm not a huge music
There's
person.
even sometimes someone will ask me like, "Oh, do you know this artist?" And I'm like, "I have never heard of that artist." And they're apparently like a big artist, like new or whatever. And I'm like,
I can't tell you
listen to
how
a whole
many
lot of new music.
I can't tell you how many times well, I don't either. But I can't tell you how many times there's somebody like, yeah, they have this big song. It's like, I've never heard of the song. I listen to the song. It's like, oh, yeah, I have heard that somewhere. You're right.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know the names and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm trying to remember what were the songs used in episode 4?
You know what? I probably shared it with you. I could look them. I can.
You
check real
probably
quick.
did share it with me.
I seem to
think
share them like each week.
You do seem to, which is funny because it's like I remember the big song from this week's.
That's episode 5. All right, let me
see.
find it.
Did you send me episode 4? Is the question.
No, I only sent episode 5
and 3. Okay, let me see. Peacemaker. Let me see if we can find this really quick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to James Gunn's personal
episode 4.
We will find it. I know. Was it episode 4 or 3 that had the Ozzy Osbourne?
It's 3 because I remember talking about it then.
That's right.
Please don't leave me by the Pretty Maids and A Shot at Redemption by Heat were the songs there. Which was yeah. Obviously one of them being the credit song. I don't remember when the other one played. Probably I think it was during like one of the car scenes with Peacemaker and Adebayo, if I remember right.
Okay.
So this is kind of least presence that definitely music had on them as well. Something else too is I was looking at the run times on the episodes, and these 2 episodes are the 2 shortest of what we got so far.
Yeah, they're basically like just shy of just over 30 minutes.
Pretty much, like they're quick, and that's kind of the reason why we're pretty much already done with talking about episode 4.
I was gonna say, like, and you think about it, some of these episodes, not a whole lot happens. I definitely could tell they're setting up for something big, and that's obviously in episode 6 through 8. So we're gonna be sitting here next week, probably going, "Oh my gosh, Superman!" and all.
I hope there's some big exciting stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
because they're hyping up these episodes, and I just hope they deliver. I don't know what to expect to deliver, and I feel like what they could be showing in episode 6 preview. I couldn't help myself. I try to not watch those into episode previews.
Yeah, I don't. touch them.
I confess, I couldn't help myself to watch the one at the end of episode 5, and I won't particularly say what they show. But I feel like of showing stuff of what they hype up to be something really spoilery, it's the safe they could have played for something like that. Of essentially just saying, as we know, spoiler for episode 5, as if we didn't already spoil everything else so far. It's essentially just showing some of the 11th Street kids that go after Peacemaker in the dimension. You don't see much else of them other than just being there. Which is like, okay, well, yeah, you'd already knew that would be there.
Yeah.
So
this is more of a,
we don't know the specifics of it.
This is more of a general thought than specific to these 2 episodes. But what's funny about when Peacemaker goes to the other dimension and he has like this weird stuff that you're like, how's he going to explain this?
Yeah.
Obviously, the other Peacemaker was very similar because his brother's like, all right, he just is like, it seems normal.
Yeah.
When he appears with the eagle, his brother's like, Keith is like, okay, well, that's normal,
I did find it interesting. I'm starting to think this Earth X theory might not be a thing as much because I'm not sure if this is a thing with Earth X. But you would think if that really is a world where the Nazis took over, that eagles would be banned for being the symbol of America.
Interesting.
And so when that scene happened, I was like, if it wasn't a world like that, I think there would have been a bit bigger of an eye of like, there's an eagle? Why do you have an eagle? Because of all the animals that you try to actively hunt down, you would think that maybe eagles wouldn't be a thing that you want there.
Well, and
We'll see though.
If that were the case, if it was Earth X, even though I've only known about this for the past like week or so, I think that there would be a lot stricter rules on like going into places, and like there would maybe be like guards around. I feel like more
Yeah,
if
I
it
don't
was like
know.
Nazis or something. You know what I mean? Like if it was, I don't know. That's a good point.
Yeah, like I said, it is an interesting theory. I don't know if I'll fully buy into it. As the more we see of it, it's like I don't know what that is the case.
Yeah.
Although it would be interesting, and I'm excited to see where that goes. As you know, the point of the multiverse is there's so many different versions, and so it's going to be fun to explore those different versions of the multiverse. And you know what makes funny too, of with the whole Prime Eagle thing, and now it makes sense that with knowing Eagle isn't just any special eagle, that he'd be able to then sense where another person is that he knows, and why that door in the first episode would have set him off like it did. Because originally, I was kind of like, why do you know where this door is? I mean, I know eagles are smart.
True.
They're meant to be smart animals. I mean, let's be honest. Eagle is a smarter character than Chris Smith. So
he's smarter than I am. So,
oh,
yeah.
Maybe to both of us. I don't know.
Well, if you combine both of our IQs, we might slightly
maybe beat him there.
Maybe,
right.
possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, but you know, that makes like for me, I thought that was a cool way to that kind of click back to me earlier. Because you know that's one of the big interesting points of like how did Eagle even know where this other dimension is, which is the main driving force of this. So we might also get to see too that I hope next episode is I hope we get to see more of where that alien came from as well. That just comes essentially takes out as garbage anytime we go in there.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think it was the opening of episode 5. We learned that you can move the dimension to a different door because Peacemaker does that in episode 5.
Well, he did it in episode 4, and then he used it in 5.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
because he had to distract Economos.
That's right.
To take it away to put it up in the place. Right. Yeah.
So that's interesting. That you can move it and do it to where once you go through.
Chris brings up an interesting point here, saying Germany has an eagle on some of their national emblems. I didn't know that. Shows you how much I know about Germany, folks.
Hey, I'm part German, and I didn't even. I need to dust up on my history there.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I will say part of the theory is still true.
Oh, interesting. There's Chris did send me a picture of it in Discord. Very interesting. The more you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Interesting. Okay. Fascinating. I didn't know that. So that's cool.
Well, that seems like a very James Gunn thing to do. And it would make sense as to why Peacemaker's dad isn't racist, because there's no one to be racist to. Like,
yeah,
because that was a theory. Some people were like, that's why he's so different. Because at the beginning of episode 4, that was normal Peacemaker dad. Because I was going to say he was still a jerk, but that was still the other dimension.
Right.
Because it's like night and day. So.
In episode 5, it began with the big funeral scene, which that was, I thought, a cool way to open it up.
We see that
like senior together there. Pretty cool. What were you about to say?
I was just going to say that because initially we thought that just the hardcore of the other dimension had a thing with Rick Flag Jr., but this universe, she also did. Maybe not like date like fully, but they were definitely close friends.
Right. Could have been found in the same way in both universes. We don't know where all the differences and similarities are. Very true. That's what's exciting is we're going to see more of it than probably getting into what actually is next episode, So that'll be that. There's a lot to look forward to in these next 3 episodes, just because nobody knows what's happening next. And I think that's such a great thing.
Yeah, we're all on the same page. All the we're
So
all
good.
wondering together versus you don't have to worry about any leaks.
Yeah.
Well, there's I don't know if you're familiar with Phase Hero.
I have been watching his Peacemaker. I've watched all but like one of the Peacemaker episodes.
Okay, so the one he just did was with Jennifer Holland.
Yep.
Excuse me. And he asked her how to describe the next 3 episodes in 3 words, and she said balls to walls.
All right, I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
they're hyping them up so much that I just like I hope they can deliver. That's my thing.
Yeah, that is true.
Because there is a point where something get hyped up too much. Although I personally hyped up Super Wayne way too much on my probably.
Well, the thing is, with at least with the superhero projects, in my opinion, James Gunn has not done a bad superhero project.
Yeah,
so
it's true. There's good reason to be hyped for it.
Yeah,
I think James Gunn's proven himself in a bunch of ways. I was thinking about it today as well as, you know, it's not just because he does so much of my favorite comic book stuff too, but I really do think he's one of the most just talented filmmakers there is. Because as we see here with his writing and where he includes the music of, I would love to know if he can think of anybody else that does this. But me and Chris, when we were talking about it, like he integrates his music in such a great way in movies that I can't think of really anyone else that does nearly as like does it like what other people really integrate music in the way projects like James Gunn does.
Well, and because I used to be like, oh, there can't be no soundtrack, only a score for superhero stuff. I saw a quote from James Gunn that he was told when he was doing Guardians to not include the songs because Marvel didn't think it would take well because they already were like, oh, these characters aren't familiar and it's going to be so different. Well, I think that's one of the things that made Guardians so unique and special was the songs fit, and then you have Superman and Peacemaker. It just it fits the story, it fits the characters, and so
it really helps the moment of what's going on. Where a bunch of the song meanings, if you look into where a lot of them are, fit really well with what's actually going on. Such as a great example of when Dreamer was used was fantastic. As you know, we're hearing the song, but it's also literally Peacemaker living through what would be his dream, you know, of like kind of in or without, like, you know, like has like a double-edged meaning of like, it's not just a great music that you're hearing, but also can dig deeper into the moment of what's actually going on. And that's a great thing about so many of these songs, that it's not just a great vibe to hit the moment, but it's also there to help enhance sort of what the song actually is, which is fantastic. One thing that was announced that Matthew was talking about in the Twitch chat is the vinyl soundtracks for season 1 and 2 of Peacemaker. I think it's only a select bit of the soundtracks of the music, but that'd still be great to get. One of the 2 sound vinyls I have is of Guardians 2, and I should try to collect to see. I don't know if they've ever done one for the Suicide Squad, but it'd be cool to get the ones for the other Guardians. And
I need to rewatch that Suicide Squad movie because I haven't seen it in a while.
Would be a bad idea to review it sometime. So because I've been telling myself I was going to rewatch it, and I haven't gotten around to rewatching it yet. So,
well, that's the other thing too is another cameo is we could see Bloodsport before, because it could be if there's another flashback to like start the episode. I mean, since we don't know what to expect for these next 3 episodes, I feel like any kind of cameo from either the Suicide Squad or previous DC projects or DCU projects is on the table. With what James can do or does, I don't think there's anyone that is unlikely.
Here's the thing though, is it's all about, you have to think about the story and why somebody would show up is the big thing. You know, people get really caught up in all these characters that can appear. And while I think you're absolutely right, there could be anybody, and he does want to make it feel like it's a complete universe together. You have to also have a good reason for him to show up. And it's kind of hard for me where if there's any cameos, it'd be episode 8, and it's all about where they're going to pop up in the middle of it all, since, you know, they're going to be in the extra dimension. So we'll see what happens though. So it's going to be exciting though. I do hope these other episodes are longer. We have runtimes for all of them, don't we?
I'm not sure if the runtimes have been revealed for these 3 episodes.
Really?
They might have. I can't recall seeing them, but that doesn't mean that they haven't.
Sure. I'm gonna look it up really quick and see if it has been released.
Because yeah, most of these episodes, all things considered, have been pretty much all around 30 to 35 minutes. There hasn't been any crazy long episodes.
Oh, you know what? You're right about them not saying anything about that. Yeah, we don't know how long they are. Yeah, hopefully they're meaty. Is all I'm saying. You know, I want to spend as much time talking about episodes, especially 6 and 8, as long as we are spending to talk about 2 episodes. Is how good I hope they are. So
well, no, and James even said that this was like his favorite thing that he's done.
Yeah, he said he has a moment in episode 8 that's like one of his favorite things he's ever directed, if not his favorite thing he's ever directed. That he's really happy about.
And
It made him feel happy.
That's saying something between Guardians and Superman. I mean,
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like it's like that Christmas feeling, like opening a present. You're like, oh, what am I gonna get?
I'm excited to delve into whatever it may be for sure. A bunch of great stuff there, or I hope that we get a bunch of great stuff there.
Right, yeah. So I'm trying not to set my expectations so high that it's like
that's the big reason why I don't like to theorize about stuff. Now, obviously, you know, not saying I don't want to talk about interesting things I hear about too much, but I don't like setting those.
To a certain extent, you don't want to theorize.
The best example I have about this is how a bunch of people talk about a bunch of Star Wars projects. As a lot of people don't talk about, I feel like when they think about what's next, as what could actually happen story wise, but a bunch of people just talk about, what characters could appear, you know, and they just care about these cameo characters where it's like, okay, but like, you know, like when Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett came out, people were like theorizing, oh, surely Bossk is going to be in Book of Boba Fett, you know, and then it didn't happen, and then they let themselves down because they were thinking too much of, well, we could see Bossk, why isn't he here? And that's why they let down. That's where the reason too. Another thing is too is, I don't, even though I might be really excited for something and watch a trailer a bunch of times and know the trailer by heart, I don't like to think too much about how those things fit together, because then I feel like that could ruin the movie as well.
So. Well, and we know I actually didn't watch the trailer for season 2 because I wanted to go in open-minded. But I did hear that the trailer only showed footage from episodes 1 through 5. So
not completely true. There's a couple shots that's from later on, but not much.
Okay, interesting.
The vast majority of it, like 90% or something, would have been.
Okay.
There's a couple things that, one in particular that I know they showed, and it may have not been until the second trailer. That's definitely in the last episodes, though.
Interesting. Okay, I did not know that. All right.
But Marvel does try to save a bunch of stuff as well. But
yeah. But it's just not to go too much down this rabbit hole, but just nowadays I feel like trailers give away so much, and then there's a bunch of TV spots and all this stuff, and before you know it, like with Fantastic Four, I was like guessing the plot lines and seeing the movie because there was so much, and they were releasing like scenes beforehand, and it's like gets to a point where I just go, I'm not gonna watch that because I don't want to get spoiled. I want to know as little as possible. I'll watch the first trailer, and that's it now, just because I don't want to know too much going in. I like being surprised.
Yeah, I do think, you know, like when they did all the stuff with like Superman, is like, if you look at all the trailers promotion we got for Superman, and turns out, hey, we got scenes from literally everywhere around the movie in those trailers. And it's like, okay, they could have tried to save some bits here and there. Because I remember feeling myself, after I watched a movie the first time, I remember being like, yeah, this was a really good movie, but I was hoping we'd get something a little more, you know?
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I thought we'd be saving something that we didn't see, but then it kind of turns out we already did see everything in the trailers for that. And so, but I liked it a lot more the second time after. For me, anytime you're excited for something, you watch it, at least how I think of it, is you're just always excited to see what's next and what you don't know about from the trailers, of actually trying to explore what there is, you know. Nothing will ever, some bits just won't, are just always going to be great when you just watch it and you have no idea that it's going to happen, you know. Like you go watch Deadpool and Wolverine, you know, you watch the whole bye thing, you didn't know that was going to be a thing at all, and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, sometimes once you've seen a movie and you're able to kind of settle down from the excitement, you can go watch it again. It's a lot easier to be like, oh, there's that, or I didn't notice
yeah,
that, or oh, that's cool.
I felt
Because
that a
you
lot with
know,
Superman after
yeah,
when I went back, and I just appreciated it a lot more. I think my Superman review would have been a bit different of me not
I
liking
agree.
certain things if I didn't go back and rewatch Superman again before that Superman streamer. For anybody that didn't check it out, make sure you go check it out. Where that
Yeah,
was, I a bunch of the things that movie clicked for a second time, and I've heard a bunch of people say too that they did find the movie better after watching it again.
well, it's like, and with that particular movie, like, is there flaws with it? Sure, but did I enjoy the heck out of that movie? Yes, those
Mhm.
two things can be true at the same time. Um, And when I say flaws, I don't mean like, oh, that was bad, but definitely like, oh, I was hoping maybe a little bit more, but it didn't hurt the movie, in my
Something,
opinion.
sure,
On a first time watch, then I watched it again. I was like, oh, forget about
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah,
uh, so,
for sure.
and knowing that we're getting a Superman sequel so quick,
Oh my gosh,
I
right?
mean, we're gonna get super. We had Superman this year, we get Supergirl next year, Superman Man of tomorrow. It's like we're having a Superman
It's great.
project, a related project every year. So good.
Superman saga. I love it.
Yeah,
And then this is also being described to help lead into that as well, which will be
yeah.
interesting. We got a bit more to touch on that we haven't talked about, such as we got revealed that Hardcore tipped off Peacemaker. I don't remember if I actually got to see that at the end of episode 4 or not, but she tipped off Peacemaker, and that's why he was sneaking through. You know,
Yeah, he
um,
kept, like, walking behind someone, and yeah, it
yeah,
was funny. Made
petting
hardcore
the
move.
dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was great. We got revealed that oh my gosh, what's her name?
Bardo.
That she's a cyborg. Where that's an actual thing from the comics of that character being a cyborg.
Nice.
I don't remember what comic it is that I saw a picture of, but I saw somebody show a picture of her actually being a full-on cyborg or something, or some character like
Interesting,
that.
okay.
Um, I'd have to. I wish I could remember the comic. It's like on the tip of my tongue of
Well,
what
and then
I
Hardcore beats the
took from.
crap out of well, not beats the crap out of him, but gets Peacemaker down on the ground and gets him unconscious.
Yeah, she was talking about
Um,
how she made sure to make herself look strong, so something like that would be believable that she could do. And
yeah,
uh, I think something like that's very plausible to happen, because I know some people are kind of like, why'd she do that? Like,
yeah,
you're telling me he knocked out such a big dude like Peacemaker, but she surprised him is the thing.
yeah, and she definitely Jennifer Holland got really into shape for this season, and I know she's talked
Yeah,
about that. So it's not like, oh, that's weird. I mean, it's like you said, she caught Peacemaker by surprise. And then Economos, what's it called? He like creates a chart with Peacemaker to show that they arrested him, so that they couldn't just get rid of him. Like he just
right.
disappears because that was the plan. Because Rick Flag started just beating him up, and
Yeah,
um, so
yeah, for sure.
Economos does so much stuff where it's like, dude, you're gonna get fired, but he plays it off so well.
Yeah,
Um, uh,
for sure. Economos is a great character, and
yeah,
seeing him have his moment to help rescue Peacemaker, where people are like, "What the fuck? Why'd you book him?" You know,
that's right, book him. Yeah,
and because we did see Rick Flag Senior beat the crap out of him, and that he's capable of killing him, and that was his big thing of where he thought he was going to get his big moment of revenge, but I mean maybe a bit, but got
yeah, he
stopped.
definitely beat him up for a bit. Yeah. Um, you definitely get the okay. Then Peacemaker he gets out of bio, picks him up with Vigilante, and this was great with Vigilante because Peacemaker's talking to Adebayo about like leaving, and he like says ads twice, and Vigilante goes like, "I'm back here." He's like, "You said," he's like a little kid because he's like, "You said her name twice."
Yeah,
Um,
I'm here too.
yeah, and then he's like, "You want to pass the time by asking me manta ray facts?" Which was so great, especially after the earlier in the season when he asked Economos to ask him owl facts. Um,
Yeah.
And then Peacemaker is dropped off by Adebayo, and then he's like, all right, I'm out of here. So he sets up the dimension to where once he steps through, it will just turn off. But Judo Master's also, he's been following him since they left the Argus. But you get some good emotion at the end of this episode when Adebayo shows back up because she got the text from Peacemaker, and they're reading the message, and you know, like Vigilante, as silly of a character he is, you see how much he really cares about Peacemaker and how much they all do.
The important thing with that moment in particular is he's been set up as a character who can't display emotions the way he does, like just is incapable of displaying emotions the same way. And you know, we see that very much with how his character is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the first time we actually see him and do like show his emotions in that way.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the reasons why that was a big moment for him there. Of actually, he's crying because, well, yeah, it is. He's just able to do it then. First thing to really make him do that, as far as we know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great stuff. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to these next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me make sure there's nothing else to check for. We have Judo Master being a big role as he,
and then he walks through.
Yeah. And then it's so funny that they knew the letter from him because he fucking the Cheeto fingers. Yeah. Cheeto fingers. Cheeto.
That's his calling card.
Yeah. We already covered the great stuff with Michael Rooker. They had to just let him go. Peacemaker, which then, you know, he did his thing. We actually did get a moment of like goodness from this is a bit earlier in episode 5 from Tim Meadows' character, where, you know, he actually looked at John Connors and was like, "You did the right thing."
Yeah, that was interesting. That was cool to see.
Yeah, so it's interesting because, you know, we're kind of seeing everybody against Rick Flag Sr. in a way. They find a note. I liked how the note transition from Adebayo reading it is the mix. And then was just Peacemaker's. And I loved what we got to see with Peacemaker, where we got to see a dead version of that same kaiju from Superman on the screen. And then we also got that moment of Peacemaker flying with the jetpack as well. He finally got his jetpack that he was flying there as well. You know, funny like parallel about the dream world of like, oh yeah, hey, he finally got his dream of that. It ends with him going to hug what James Gunn calls her is thirst court for the health of it. And
that's true. Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, and that was pretty much episode 5 in a nutshell. Like, I mean, that really is a great mid sort of season place. I do feel like.
Yeah.
Really setting up the back. In a way, I want to call it the back half, even though it's not technically half. But I feel like with the amount of content we could potentially get in these 3 episodes, it'll feel like a back half. I think, you know, so I'm just going to call it a back half, even though numerically it's not technically that. But that's exciting, though, is now we've officially talked about everything. Goes up behind. Actually, wait, what was the...
the end credit was... Oh, man, I'm blanking on it now.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up so I can... It's the true. Oh, it's more with the scene of them in the car.
Oh, right. He's talking about manta rays. Yeah. Dude, that was so funny. Vigilante is so confident in these facts, and you hear him and you're like, that's no way that's true.
How many manta rays did it take for you to shut the fuck up? And then he's counting.
Yeah, he's like, maybe, you know, maybe like 6 or 7 or something.
No, it's a school of manta rays. Oh, he's so funny. Vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a great comedic relief this season amid all the not saying other characters don't have funny moments, but he's that one character anytime you see, you're like, oh yeah, he's funny, you know. Just being a great comedic relief always this season. So that was good stuff. The main to facts extended, right. So Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think episode 5 that was such a good episode. I mean, both of them are really good, and I just can't wait for what's next for sure. So yeah, I think we've pretty much gotten everything that was in this episode. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't think so. I think we talked about everything.
I was about to say,
episode.
I made sure to scroll through, and I'll think if there's anything we missed, there's any small little details.
Yeah.
So we've pretty much hit on all the scenes. So, yeah. So without further ado, thank you so much, Andrew, for joining.
Of course.
Happy
to be back.
Yeah, great to have you back. Since I forget that it's like, yeah, we skipped last week because of me feeling sick, and then the week before
I was out of town
because you were out of town, and so. But yes, great to have you back once again, and be back with more Peacemaker next week. But until then, where can the people find you at?
Tomorrow night on the Came Into Focus YouTube channel, we will be going live to discuss the comedy movie from the 90s called The Pest, which is one of Cam's favorites. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow afternoon. Nice. That will be at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then you can catch me over on the Feast of Fandoms YouTube channel for 2 shows a week. First up on Monday nights, we go live for MCU Mondays at 9:30 Eastern. We will be discussing the Jessica Jones season 1 finale this week, which is a lot of fun. Thursday, where you're going to take a week off from the Clone Wars to discuss Star Wars Lego Rebuild the Galaxy.
Nice.
Which dropped yesterday. It was a new 4-part series, so heard it's really good.
I fell asleep watching it last night. So
nice. I don't know. I made it
a little over. I made it was just because of how late it was, honestly.
Yeah.
I fell asleep watching. I made it to episode 3. I was over halfway watching episode 3, so I'll watch more of it than not.
Yeah.
So I'll finish it up. I would say tonight, but I might actually put on something Batman related since we're doing that whole thing at Batman Day here on the Dingus Den, where going to be continuing the Batman Day shenanigans over on Twitch. So anybody that's lurking out on the YouTube or have made it this far in the replay and hasn't checked out the Twitch, go check out the Dingus Den Twitch, where occasionally I do some fun streaming shenanigans over there. I also stream my D&D campaign there as well, which is also on the Tabletop Lounge, so go check that out as well. But there's more fun to be had over on the Dingus Den Twitch as well if you can't get enough of me talking about this stuff. Like to do a bunch of gaming stuff over on Twitch, which is about to continue over there because we've been live on Twitch the whole time as well. So I think that pretty much wraps up everything. So thank you everybody so much for joining on this wonderful episode of talking about Peacemaker. Talk about both episodes 4 and 5. Say the titles being Need I Say Door and back to the Suture.
Suture, yeah.
Suture. I don't know.
I love the episode titles. How they're play on words.
Yeah, they're great. So I can't wait to. We'll see what the other episodes titles are. James Gunn won't even reveal what the other episode titles are. So
I'll reach out to it.
Right. We'll find out. So we can be all prepared and everything for it. Right. So until next time, everybody. See you all next time here in the Dingus Den for more comic booky stuff. That's right, comic booky stuff. All right, YouTube.